Hey, I got something to say. I love doing this for women around the world, especially during Love Month. That's what I call it. I know it was Valentine's Day, but for me, February is Love Month. And how can I show love to as many people as possible? So I cannot wait to bring on my next. It's going to be perfect. Dr. Jane Tornatore, but I think I'm going to call her Dr. Jane. And there she is. She did.
Yay!
I was just talking about you and bringing you on during Love Month.
Awesome. I on February 14th I say Happy Self-Love Day.
Which is perfect, Jane, which is perfect. So we got a lot to go over with the self-love and not being perfect. Are you sure? But before we do that, I'm just going to tell them a little bit about you. Cool beans?
Yeah, absolutely.
All right. Dr. Jean has dedicated her therapy and coaching career to helping people be kinder to themselves. Like that.
Right.
Her style incorporates compassion, curiosity, deep listening, and heartfelt optimism, along with powerful shots of playfulness. She published a book, which is how I found you. Everything is perfect, just not me! Exclamation mark. A roadmap for self-acceptance. Welcome, Dr. Jane.
Thank you. I'm so happy to be here during Self-Love Month. I'm just gonna rename it Self-Love Month, right?
Okay, but first of all, where are you coming from? Where do you live?
I'm coming from Seattle, but I was born in State College.
Oh.
So I'm a Pennsylvanian
I do like Seattle. I was only out there, once or twice. Twice. I love it. Do you love it?
Beautiful. I love it. It is beautiful. It is just, I love water, and there's water everywhere.
Yeah.
So,
yeah. All right, so let's dive right into it because we hear this a lot. Love yourself, take time to yourself. The most important thing is how you feel about you, not what the world views you at. And that's a lot to take in. And it's a process, it's not like, okay, love yourself. That's great. And I'm going to just do that tomorrow.
Right. And what I found is that people make it another way to beat themselves up or another thing on their to-do list that they have to do. I've got to love myself. I've got to take better care of myself. And it becomes more stress. Like self-love becomes, I'm not doing it right and stress.
Yeah. And it's like you said, I should, which they always say you shouldn't say should, you want to. And I should love myself.
Yes. And that's what it becomes.
Okay. And, it's different for everybody because it depends on where you're starting the process. I mean, I've met some people, actually, I studied people for years that I believe Dr. Jane exuded pure joy, meaning it didn't matter what they did in their life. They really liked themselves.
Wow.
They really, really liked themselves. And I was fortunate because I owned a health club that I could say, hey, I'll give you a free membership if I could study you and you can answer my questions. And what I realized, they all had it in a different part of their journey. Some came out of the womb almost like that, and others, it was a difficult process.
Mm-hmm.
It wasn't just this one path. So let's talk about what you do, because you said you've made this, your lifelong journey. So why did you get into this in the first place?
Some people are born with it, and some people it's a difficult process. I'm the difficult process end of the spectrum. Like, I think I came out of the womb anxious and going, am I okay? Am I enough? I don't know. So since my earliest memories, I've never felt good enough. Like there's always more I could do. Even if I got praised, I could have done better. It could have been better. Like there's always, I have to be better was just, I think it's a part of my DNA. So I've spent a lot of time studying, a lot of learning, read a lot of books, a lot of practices to find ways to increase my own kindness. And so it's been a lifelong journey, and I'm still loving myself more and being kinder. It's till the day I die, hopefully, right?
Yeah. You know, I'm so glad you said that because my son, who I tell him he makes me want to be a better person every day, he's 18.
Aw.
He says to me, he struggles with feeling, worthy enough and really
Mhm.
liking you. Then again, he's 18, so let's keep that in mind. And he
He's
and he's
got
a lot
hormones
better.
all over the place,
Yeah,
right?
yeah. But he said to me, Mom, you've done everything you can to instill this in me. There's nothing you can do. So that was the next
Right?
question that everybody kept asking. Like, am I a bad parent? I mean, what did I do that my kids aren't feeling like this self-love? What can I do differently to support them? And I said to him, I'm sure I screwed you up every way but sideways,
Yeah.
but I've tried my best to instill that in him. But he still said, Mom, you can't give this to me. I'm a perfectionist. I always think I should be doing more, even though I told him I
Yeah.
don't care what grade you get. That's not important to me because
Hmm.
I don't know if you could have done anything differently. I'm sure there is, but
There's always something we can do differently. And, I believe, there's a nature and nurture thing. I believe we come in with certain ways of being and then our environment influences us. But we all come in with both, right? Some of us just have this journey, like perfectionists. Oh my goodness. Bless their hearts. I am one. And I'm a, I'm I'm a queen of reframe. I love reframes. I can reframe anything for that to make it seem like it's a good idea. Because there is always a good aspect to everything if we
yeah, yeah,
choose to
yeah.
see it that way. But one of the things I love about being a perfectionist is I deeply believe things can always be better. Like if
Yeah,
there's a better way, I'm going to be looking for it. So
yeah.
while we can use it as a very punishing um, way of treating ourselves, we're also awesome because we're like, oh, there's got to be something better. Like, no, let's give up. No, I think it's possible. Let's try this, right? So we
Yeah.
are the people always pushing for the envelope. Our, let me speak for me, my job is to always increase my self-kindness, even as I am pushing to be better or to figure out how to do something better or to learn something more or faster or whatever. Just as long as I bring more kindness along for the trip, then it's going to be fine. So it's just
Mm,
increasing those little words of, and I'm okay.
mm.
I really did the best I can, but I could have done better. I know,
Yeah, yeah.
but I did the best yay me, because I care, right? So we focus on the power of the perfectionism as the mean aspect of it is just going to be there.
I love that you said that way. I've never quite heard it so eloquently. And I think that is so true in that when we come into this world, there's certain innate characteristics that you could look at are a gift
Uh-huh.
or they're not.
Right.
And every one of them is a unique gift, but they're also going to have that other side of it. Everyone. I don't care who.
Everything. Yeah. Yeah. The people who are all joy, if they're only all joy, they can't be with the shadow.
Mm.
So if something hits, they're not prepared because I'm great with shadow. Like I love doing the shadow and the stuff that gets in my way and the stuff I don't like. And I'm super fun with that. I love that. Right.
Yeah,
My journey is to spend more time in joy.
yeah, yeah.
But so that's my
We would
journey.
get along because I'm the opposite. I've gone to those places, but
Yeah.
took me years kicking and screaming to go there.
Yeah.
And the
Right.
only way I got there, because it's easy for me to be in joy all the time,
Oh, it's awesome.
is by realizing to really have pure joy, you have to know the other side of it. And
Yes.
that's what kicked me over to go, okay, I'm going to go
Right.
kicking and screaming, but it
Right.
was worth it, you know?
Absolutely. Yeah. What always, always, always is true is the more we can hold whatever emotion, that what we see is good or what we see is bad, the more of a container we can hold, the more space we hold for it, we automatically increase our capacity for like shadow joy, right? The more grief we can hold, the automatically we increase our capacity for love. And vice versa. The more love we can hold, we
Absolutely.
increase our capacity for grief. It's just what we expand, we expand. We contract, we contract.
Yeah.
So yeah.
I was just talking about that with a friend because we were talking a lot of women were great, or the ones I attracted were great givers.
Oh
Love
yeah.
giving. But I said, you have to be able to receive to keep it flowing. Like my mentor was saying, to keep it flowing and
Yeah.
really be able to up the heart bigger to give, you have to be able to receive. And that's a tough one for a lot of us.
Oh yes, it is. Because so I'm going to do a little flip on this that always surprises people. When we are just givers, and I know this one well too. I know all this stuff really well. But when we are just givers, there's an inherent quality of I'm better than you.
Ooh.
Inherent quality of arrogance. You can get help, but I don't need help. It's okay for you to get help.
Nothing wrong with me, dude.
Right? So that's the shadow side of giving. I must be better than you because I don't need help. And that's the shadow side that comes with only receiving or only giving and not receiving.
You know what? I've never heard that. I always thought it was, I'm not worthy.
There's that too.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
You know what I mean? Like, and it depends. Like, I get the other one, like, you need my help. Look at me. But there's also, I'm not worthy.
Yeah. One of the things I find that really helps with kindness for me is when I'm doing something wacky, like not receiving help or love or whatever.
Yeah.
There's always a reason I'm doing it. And there's always something I get from it. And this puts us more in a power position for, when I used to just constantly be, I'm not worthy, I'm not worthy, I'm not worthy. And it puts me in a very powerless position. Because if I'm not worthy, there's not a whole lot I can do about that, right? You can't ever prove to me. Nobody else can prove to me that I'm worthy. Like never, right? But if I see, wow, this is a way. If I don't feel worthy, that's one way to feel worthy. Oh, I can help you. You need my help. I don't need help. And it's all an idea. It's not true. But that serves us. It is one way to feel more worthy. It comes at a cost, right?
Yeah.
But it is a way. That's one way I'm worthy. I can give you my help without needing anything in return. So there's always something we get. We just need to look at it and go, is it worth the price? Is it worth that price? But then we get to choose versus, I'm not worth it. I can't. It's such a helpless feeling, right? I contract even pretending to say it. I'm like, ugh.
My son always, his friends would always joke and say, you seem like you really like yourself. I don't know if you should all the time. Like they were kidding me, the stuff they done. But I always had this innate belief that everyone has stuff. I don't even care what you show on the surface, because I could see through it. From working with people for so long behind the scenes, everyone has stuff. Every single person has stuff. And if you're going to wait till you're over your stuff, you're going to be dead by then,
Right. Yeah. Yeah, exactly.
So I think the idea of getting coaching, getting therapy, to have someone else help you work through that is one of the most important things you could do, because I don't care who you are, everyone could benefit from talking to someone. Everyone. Because it's hard to see yourself. Like you said, you can look at your friends and family, go, this, but when it comes to your own stuff, you can't see it. I don't care who you are. I know all my friends who are therapists, psychiatrists, they all have therapists, coaches, mentors, and I consider them the healthy ones.
Right? Yeah. This one thing that was really instilled in my program is if you don't do your own therapy, just forget about being a therapist. Because, I think for therapists in particular, but if we don't know our own stuff, when somebody brings something to us, we're going to make it about us, right? If I'm like, that's totally an issue for me, then I can see what's my reaction and what's going on with them. So I can separate the two out. And I think whether you're a therapist or just a friend, right? That's a super helpful thing. Oh, you're really triggered by this. Oh, I am too. But this isn't about them. This is about that person in the past that happened. And that was awful. Oh, but I'm here now, right? So it helps us be more in the present versus in the past when the original big T or little T trauma happened.
Yeah. I think that's the toughest thing as to be a great therapist, counselor, psychologist, life coach is being able to see it's not through just your eyes. It's not your journey. They're having a totally different journey. And the
Yeah.
more tricks you have, I call up your sleeve, and the more you keep educating yourself in self-discovery,
Hmm.
you can see it from their frame of mind. And it's
Yeah.
like you said, it's not how you would deal with it and your issue,
Right.
which I know a lot of people that do that. It's like they keep treating the people the same way. And I'm like, wait a minute. I don't think that's what they need. It's more about you.
Yep. Yeah. And the less comfortable we are with our part of whatever they're dealing with, the more we are going to try to fix them and do it this way. Because then
Yeah.
we're going to feel better. Because we can't stand their discomfort with whatever it is, because we can't stand our discomfort with whatever it is. So we get comfortable with our discomfort. We're like, you do you. Good luck. Hey, love ya. Right?
You must be
you got it. Why don't you just do
therapist.
this thing, right? What?
So you must be a hoot as a therapist.
I once had my office mate refer somebody to me, and when she called, she's like, "Well, he hears you laughing all the time, so he figures you must be having fun." And it's true. I love, because laughter's so powerful, because if you're familiar with joy, you're in your right brain a lot, right? That's
Yeah.
the place of joy. That's the place of present moment. That's the place of celebration. No judgment. It just is. Let's figure it out, and let's get creative, and let's have fun. Let's relate.
Yeah.
Let's be
Yeah.
with each other. Uh,
I like
so,
that place.
yeah. So when we're talking about really heavy stuff, if we can laugh about it, we're bringing our whole brain on board versus just the judgment and the fear and the sorrow, which is more of the left brain territory.
Mm. So what is I mean, maybe you don't have a typical, but is there a genre that is your emphasis as a therapist? Like your ideal client?
Well, my ideal client is high achieving, anxious women, right?
Gotcha.
Because I know that super well, right? My genre is basically how I work with people is, as we're talking, I help them become conscious of the unconscious, like those habits, those thoughts, those beliefs that are just kind of like part of your DNA almost. And so you aren't even thinking, you're just reacting from them. Like there's no thought, it's just like, boom, this is what I do. So I help make that more conscious, get them more aware. I'm a total brain geek. I really help them see what's left, what's right brain, how to engage both, how to get our whole brain on problem solving.
Love that. Love it.
So fun. What I love about knowing about the brain is, because I work with perfectionists, we go around going, why am I this way? What is wrong with me? Why don't I feel worthy? What's wrong with me? When I say, oh, well, this is what's happening in your brain, it's a natural part of the brain's process. And they go, oh, I mean, it's not my fault. No, it's not. It's how the brain works. So there's just this immediate, oh, I'm not broken. I just have a human brain. Right.
Right. Relief. Woohoo.
Right. Exactly. And that right there is kindness.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh, I'm just human? Yeah, you're just human.
Even in my area, was more in the fitness area, exercise physiology area, but I always used it for the mental health area.
Yes.
And I found it fast because fitness was my vehicle to spread joy. But to spread joy, I had to study how the brain worked.
Yeah.
And I'm just beyond elated how much we've discovered, even in the last 20 years.
Right. Now you know why what you do works, right?
Yeah.
You know it works. I don't know why.
There's scientific, I'm that person that's innately, I have faith and belief. Like I looked at my life, it works. Okay, let's move on. Yeah. But most of the world was not like that. They want scientific proof. Mm-hmm. And now there is. Isn't that crazy?
Yes. Now I imagine you're a person who trusts her inner knowing more than most. You're like, this works for me. It's true for me. It's what feels right for me. Ergo, that's what I'm going to do. You're probably more like that, right? Yeah.
I'm very, very deep. Always have connected to my heart, higher, even such a kid. No one can figure me out. But I was like, that doesn't seem right. And whenever I second guess myself, that's when I get in trouble. But the more time I spend connecting to myself, now that being said, I surround myself with a lot of other people that aren't like that to balance
Right.
it out.
Yep.
And I remember thinking this, that that's how I came in the world. And that's my unique gift. But it's not that easy for other people to be that way. And someone said that
No.
to me, like, Sandy, you're very connected and you feel this beyond love from this source energy that you connect to. So when things hit the wall, you go back and connect to that. So you don't realize
Yeah.
so much of what other people think of you. But a lot of people innately don't have that.
Right.
And
Right.
so when you're saying about teaching people kindness, it took me a long time to say, how can what I bring to the world, can I help teach others in a way that will benefit them? Because they're not all going to be able to get what's going on here.
Mm-mm.
But when I started like reading your stuff, you're taking some things that are just innately in me and making it practical for people to understand and open their heart. So yay, you.
Yay! Thank you. Thank you,
Yeah.
Sandy. Oh.
Yeah, and I love that you're doing that, because sometimes it's hard for me to see how I can help that person beyond saying, okay, connect to your heart. And they're like, okay, do you want me to go
Right.
run a mile? Like, what are you talking about? All right, where connect him? And it's
I
and
know.
it's not that easy. Okay, you want me to open my heart and let the divine light in? Yeah. Now, there are people in that realm that I can, but you need all the others, because to me, I call it the powers to be. It's all the same way. Whether you're sports psychologist, positive psychologist, Gandhi, you know what I mean? The guru of the spirituality, know how the brain works.
Mm-hmm.
They are, and got to work with all. They're all kind of saying the same thing, but they come at it from a different angle. So if you can help somebody understand how the brain works,
Right.
and get that same gift of self-love,
Right.
you're going to impact so many people.
Oh, thank you.
Love that. Love that.
Yeah.
Did you
Yeah.
break it down? And they go, okay, there's actually a tool. This makes sense more than Sandy. So I want to get into that. Not that I'm putting myself down. I'm a good piece of the world. But tell me about, there are easy, quick ways to love ourselves more. Let's go through that, because that's what we need to do.
Awesome. Great. So I love that you just said that's what I need to do, or that's what we need to do. Because if I were queen of the world, like, this is my number one rule. This is my first tool, and it will be my last tool ever. I love it. If I were queen of the world, I would ban the word should, must, have to, and need. And for Midwesterners, got it, because I spent half my life in Minnesota, right?
Yeah.
So I'm always a big fan of feeling how the tool works, experiencing the tool versus just theoretically thinking about the tool. Because we've got lots of things we theoretically think about, but unless we have experience of it working, we're like, yeah, whatever, I'll put that on my plate for when I have time, right?
Yeah.
So,
yes.
So what's something you need to do, or you should do, or you have on your plate and you're like, I gotta do this? Do you have something?
Clean.
Clean. Awesome. Like, look at you as you're saying it. This is beautiful. So say, I need to clean.
I need to clean.
Right. Close your, yeah. What's happening in your body? You're getting all fidgety, and what are you feeling in your body?
I'm feeling the boys in my house should clean more.
Wait, that's your thought. What's happening in your body of like, oh, I need to clean?
Obligation, which is, I don't like that.
Yeah.
I don't
you're like twitching.
Yeah, I don't like that. It's an obligation of something that's fun and joyful.
Right. So of course you wouldn't like it. If it's an obligation, that's not your happy place. But say it would be helpful to clean.
It would be helpful to clean. Oh, you know what went through my head?
Right.
I was thinking it would be helpful if they cleaned.
If they have. Right. Okay. Well, let's give it to you.
All right.
Totally
it would be helpful if I cleaned. The house would look nicer. I like the environment.
Yeah. So you notice how different your body is responding.
Yeah. Yeah.
You're going like this. You aren't going like, you're like, it would be helpful. Yeah. So your brain, when you said it would be helpful, your thoughts went to, besides it would be helpful if they cleaned, it went to, I would like the house better. I'd feel more comfort. It went to the positive aspects of it, right? It became less unconsciously. Like I didn't say, think better thoughts about cleaning your house. Like I didn't say that, but your brain naturally went there. Oh, I'd feel better. It'd be, you know, like it just, that's called the reticular activating system. The reticular activating system is the part of our brain that kind of searches the environment for information that matches our internal beliefs. So if you're saying, I have to clean, your brain is not automatically searching for, and how am I obligated? And how else am I? And what are other obligations? Your brain naturally goes there. If it's like, it'd be helpful or it'd be a good idea, it would be a good idea to clean. Because then your brain naturally goes to, well, why would it be a good idea to clean? Right? So the thing that's on your list, it's on your list for a reason, right? You didn't say, I'm going to clean because like, who the hell cares? But I just need to go, right? It's, you want to clean for a reason, right? So get that thought associated with, because of these things. So we're more pulled toward this thing on our list versus pushed, that obligation. I gotta, right? I'm a big fan of when I'm drawn to something, it happens with more ease. Very same thing, more ease. When I'm pushed, I'm resisting the entire time.
I know it was a big thing. It's funny you say that because I would tell people that with exercise. When they say, I should work out. Then it's an obligation and you're going to do it for a little bit and hate it and then stop, you know? It's not going to be fun. You're not going to look forward to it.
Nope. But if they do it because it's a good idea and then they experience how good they feel after every time and really notice and pay attention to how good it feels, it's going to wire into their brain. And the brain's like, oh, exercise, we feel good. It gives us dopamine hits. This is good stuff. So you're literally training your brain each time you exercise and notice how good it feels, how good you feel afterwards.
Are you trying to pump my book up with Train Your Brain? No, I'm kidding. And right behind us is Train Your Head Bible. I'm kidding. All right, so I can't believe how much time has passed, and I want to make sure I get in a couple of these. A fast way, and I love that you said that because it's such a simple thing, and that's so easy to shift with just one freaking word, and I love words. A fast way to tap into your inner knowing so we can stop second guessing our decisions.
So
I'm all ears, Dr. Jane.
Yeah, this is helpful when you were saying, how do I have people touch into their heart? So this is a really nice intro way to do that. It's a way to tap into our inner knowing. And for me, my instinct, my gut, you know, coming from in, I tap through it to my inner knowing, right? So my heart is kind of my vehicle to access the information. So I do this. I have people stand up and then say something true and something false. So like I would have somebody stand up and like if it were you, I'd say, you know, stand up, arms and legs loose, just loose posture and say your name. And then you would notice which way you go. Like some people, like for me, when I say my name is Jane, which is true, I lean forward. When I say something that is false, I lean back. Some people get lighter when they say what is true and heavier when it's false. Some people exactly the opposite. They get more grounded when it's true and kind of dispersed when it's false. So basically it's for everybody to find out how does their body tell them what is true and what's not true. So once they've got that yes or no, then you say, and I always like to do for my highest good, because always, if it's for my highest good, it's for everybody's highest good. If what I want to do, if it's for my highest good, it's not going to screw somebody else over because that's not for my highest good either, right? So I love, and nobody has to. I sometimes for the people who don't want to say that, I just say it's a good idea. So like today, I'll say it's for my highest good to go for a walk and then see what my body, if it goes forward or backwards, because for me that's forward or backwards. And then I will always ask the opposite. It's for my highest good not to walk or to stay home. And then I usually almost get the opposite response. But that's a really fast, easy way to tap into your inner knowing.
Easy. Yeah.
Easy, so easy. But you start with little things. Like I've got a thing on my website. If you sign up, then you get like instructions. But one of the things I say is start with very little things. Because if you're a mind person and you're not tapped in, your ego needs convincing. Your ego needs to know,
Yeah.
if I do this thing, nobody's going to die. Nobody's going to laugh at me. My world's not going to end. Like, we literally need that proof. So when I first started, I would say, it'd be for my highest good this apple. It would be for my highest good to eat this orange. I'm like, literally, it's for my highest good to go straight on my walk home from grad school. It's for my highest good to go right. I'm like, I would ask little itty bitty things. And it always turned out fine.
Yeah.
So it enabled me to trust. And then I gradually went to big decisions. But your inner knowing is just another way to learn to trust yourself. So we don't have to go outside. You're gifted at this. Most people are not. So it's a really simple way to start building that trust in one's own knowing. Because we all have it. We just don't have the neural pathways built like
And by the way, the same thing when you say gifted, I'm glad you brought this up. I've been doing this since I'm 9 or 8 years old. That I can remember. It was something I practiced because it was such a traumatic situation of my childhood, which is a whole nother series, but that's how I survived. So I've been doing this every single day for how many years? So that's the way my brain's wired. But I still work on it. Like, this is a fun thing that I'm still going to do. Because as much as I tap in, there are times that I can talk myself out of it, because we all do, because it's too scary. Absolutely. So I love this. But keep in mind how even me, I'll go down past that art for my highest good, and I've convinced myself they are, and have gone this way versus listening. And I've been doing this for lots and lots of years.
Yeah. It's a constant, it's a practice.
Yeah. Yeah.
It is a practice. Nobody like meditates and goes, okay, I'm now done meditating. I mean, no serious student of meditation goes, okay, now my brain's all fixed and I have all my thoughts in order and they're fine and great. No, I will meditate for the rest of my life, because it's constant training my brain.
Reach every day, every single day. Not long, just every day.
Yep.
Okay. Let's end. We got to get going, but I got to get this in. I don't care if we're running over time. You're freaking awesome. A simple method to help our feelings feel less overwhelming and help them pass faster.
Awesome. So
big one right now. Big one.
Right? So there are 3 things we do when we have feelings we don't like. We repress them. We feed them and go, yeah, of course I'm angry. They did this. And why don't they clean the house? Of course I'm upset. They won't clean up, right? Or
they go on Facebook and tell everybody else, and they all think they suck, and then you can around it.
Or we just feel them. And by feeling, I mean letting go of any thought. How our bodies physically respond to that thought. When we are just feeling, not repressing, not feeding and making them worse, our body's natural neurochemical response to any reaction to a thought, to an event, is done with anywhere from 90 seconds to 2 minutes.
Yeah.
Like, if we don't interfere with our mind, it's
just
done.
Let it go.
Yep. And we often repress these feelings. And it just happened the other day with a client. He's like, I think I'm going to die if I feel like literally we feel like we're going to be annihilated. We will have grief and it will never leave. But if we're aware and paying attention and noticing and feeling our body, it's constantly changing.
Yeah.
You see how it gets more intense or less intense or shifts to another feeling in our body. It's fascinating. But then that allows curiosity, which is a right brain activity, right? It activates the right brain of like, ooh, this is an experience. What's going to happen versus I'm going to die, right?
Yeah.
So if we can just feel the physical sensations, and for the perfectionists out there, the fastest I've ever gotten with intense feelings is 5 minutes, because we naturally either repress or feed, or I do a combination of both.
Yeah.
So I come into my body, notice the thoughts. Oh, hello, thoughts. Come into the physical sensation, and then it passes so much faster.
Yeah. Don't give it legs. You know what I mean? When you just
get there. Yes. Yeah. So our feelings are here to be felt. So let them do their job, and then we can get on to the next thing.
Well, I think for what you were saying with your client, if they are feelings that are real intense,
yes,
and suppressed, it's better to have that experience with someone like you to guide us through? Because that can be really scary to do on your
Yes,
own.
it can be, especially the first couple of times. Now, once they've had the experience of the container, then they're good.
Yeah.
Like I work with somebody and I will face stuff with him that I'm not able to face on my own. Once I
Yeah.
faced it with him, then I'm like, I got this.
Yeah.
I can
I'm
do
fine.
this. I can
Yeah.
survive. It doesn't make it necessarily easy, but I know I'll survive.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
So I think it's always super helpful to have somebody else help us expand our capacity. And then we go off and run and practice and build those neural pathways for the expanded capacity.
I love you, Dr. Jane. This
Oh,
is
it's so fun, Sandy.
Yeah, this was freaking awesome. And I love that these are three things that they can apply right now that can have
Yes.
huge impact. Little things, which I'm all about, that they can do every day and just go back to them. And they're not complicated, and none of it takes a lot of time.
Exactly. Exactly. Exactly.
Well, this has been great for Love Month. I love
Yay.
that we're on in February. But before we go, how can they find you?
Oh,
And your
they can
book.
go
And your book.
oh, my book. Oh, I've got it right here. Everything is perfect, just not me. A roadmap
Love
for
the
self-acceptance.
title. Love it. Love it.
Thank
Love
you.
it.
I do too. So perfect for and my you can buy that on Amazon, and my website is everydaylove.me. And if you want the instructions for the, the body test, do everydaylove.me/body test, and you'll get on my list, and I'll send you the videos and the PDF and stuff. So it'll make it easy for you to incorporate it into your life. And who
So
can't use more self-trust in their life? I'm just saying.
everyone,
Right?
every day.
Right?
I know. I say that to people. Believe me, I express all emotions. I'm not always joyful, and it took me many years to be like, yeah, that's okay.
Yeah.
But I still, every single day, before I wake up, I decide how I'm going to show up. I mean, it's a practice. It's
It
not
is a
like
practice.
okay, I got this down and throw it out the window. No
Yeah.
way, sister. No.
Yeah. Like we don't do
All
that with
right.
breathing. Okay, I got breathing done. Don't have to breathe anymore. But perfectionists think we should have everything out. I did it 3 times. I should be fixed.
Yeah,
Right?
and by the way, I checked it off. Every hour I did my deep breathing, so I'm good to go now.
Awesome. Yay!
All right, I
Love
got
you,
something to
Andy.
say. Boy, did Dr. Jane have a lot of great stuff to say. And don't worry if you miss some of it, because right after I'm going to record it and I'll put it on all the social media sites. And we both would be so grateful for you to share it with someone that you know will benefit it, also like it, and subscribe. It means the world to us.
Nice.
Thank you, Dr. Jane.
Thank you, Sandy.
And you are going to say, until next time,
Okay,
toodles.
bye. Bye.